Welcome all, Bernie here from EWPRO. Looking at the DXY on the daily, I'm looking for this wave down in here, or at the very least, a correction in here somewhere for more upside. So I'm really just looking for sells at this stage. Looking at the lower time frame H4, I am looking for a fifth wave up here. Well, there's been setups on the lower time frame to get in, so you're either in it or you're not, really. On the M30, we have 5 up in here. So if anything, I'd be waiting for a larger correction in here, larger than these corrections, before you look for a buy, or it gives you a sell and goes and breaks a low. This stage, there's really nothing on it. AU, looking for this A, B, C in here to finish off this B wave. So ideally, this low here gets broken in this wave coming down. H4, we're starting to get bullish divergence, so we may start to get a larger correction. But again, there's really not much on it to actually buy. There is no buy setup on it, and then there's too much bullish divergence to actually think about selling it. So really, you're sitting on the sideline. There's really no setup there. Like for the buy, I'd like this low here to get broken, and then if we get a nice impulse up and a correction, well, then we could look for a buy. But until that happens, you're really just sitting on the sideline. GU on the daily, looking for this like C wave down in here to finish, and then if we get a buy set up, we can look for a buy for like an A, B, C. On the H4, we do have that bear hidden here. We've got this bear hidden here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this goes and breaks that low. Like I've been mentioning the last few weeks, so we're looking at just a C down there and then possibly more upside. It's turned more bearish now, so we sort of have we're getting 5 down in here. I'll just quickly do this. If I zoom in a little bit here, we're getting 5 down. So we're getting 1, 2, 3. You have to wait for a wave 4, and then you could sell a wave 5 down, basically. Nothing's changed on EU. We've been looking at this for a long time, waiting for this C in here to be over, and then, if we get a bullish setup, we can look for this C up. H4 still can get another one down in here for the wave 5. Well, we got that 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for a wave 5 down. Then if we get a bullish setup on the lower time frames, we can look to buy. There's really not much on the H1. It's very choppy, so it's very difficult to trade. Like when you're getting all this chop, you know, very difficult to trade. Oh, I'll just let it go and break this low, and then after it's broken the low, start looking for buys to buy. It's pretty much what I'm looking to do. So NU, very similar to AU. You know, looking at this correction in here before we get an A, a B, and a C up. Just looking for an A, B, C there. So again, there's really not much happening on the NU. We do have bullish divergence. We have broken the low there. So again, I'm just waiting for a buy setup, but again, there is no buy setups. There is no buy setup yet. H1's the same. We got bullish divergence, but no buy setup. You know, just be waiting for a nice impulse up and a correction, and then I can look for buys. Until that happens, I'm just sitting on the sideline unless you're in the trade, in a sell already, longer term sell. GU, like I mentioned last week, we can come up and break that top here still before we get the A, the B, and a C. Have to be very careful. We have a bear hidden in here. So, you know, you definitely don't want to be getting into the buy at this stage. If you're in the buy, you could keep it. But do we have bearish divergence in here? We don't just yet, and we have a bull hidden. So we have sort of 5 up in here. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a 5th one up in here. In here, you could scalp a buy on the lower time frames. But then you'd have to be very careful because the H4 bear hidden may play out then and go and break the low. Or it just gives you the 5th wave up and then a larger correction and gives you another 5 up. But yeah. UY, I was sort of looking at this as an expanding flat. It's not going. I was looking at this A, B, C, and then I was looking for an A, B, C. We didn't even get the 5 down in here, but again, it's like some of the others. We have a bear hidden in here. So, you know, this can give us another one down. Again, H4, I was looking for another one down. Sorry, the H1, I was looking for another one down as well, but it just kept on going. I was looking for 3 up in here and then a 5th one down and then look for the buy. It just gave us those 3 waves down. So now we're getting bearish divergence. So, yeah, I would be leaving it alone. You know, you're either in this buy and you're still holding this, or you're sitting on the sideline. UCAD, it's gone up and broken this top quite a while ago, and it's just kept on going up in here. The lower time frames, I was looking for a C down in here, didn't get it, as you can see in here on the H4. Sorry, on the H1. I'm sort of looking for one down in here and give us some sort of a flat before we buy again. It's just given a little flat in here. It's just given a little flat in here and kept on going, getting all that bearish divergence. So there's nothing you can do with it now. If you're either on the buy, like in here, or if you got on this one, um, but yeah, there's nothing really you're doing unless you're going on to the lower time frames and scalping. Yeah, there's nothing on it yet. The Swissy looking for the three up, that A, B, C up in here, up to this 100 fib. It did give us a larger correction in here and more upside. Wouldn't be surprised if this top gets broken, but again, if you didn't get in it during the week in the buy, you pretty much missed the trade. But we had the 5 up in here, larger correction, and yeah, just waiting for that top to be broken. Again, yeah, there's nothing unless you're on it already, and there was a trade in here. There's also a trade in there, but yeah, unless you're already on it, you can't go selling it now or buying it now. There's really not much on the pairs unless you're already on them. EG's right down the bottom with all this bullish divergence. Any buy setup you get, you definitely can take. You may be starting to get it. We got a nice impulse in here. So at this stage, it's a bear hidden, but it's starting to be a bear hidden. But on the lower time frames, if you get any correction, you definitely can look to buy. So this is a really nice impulse. If we get a correction in here, definitely look to buy that. WTI, it's really not playing the game. It's been very messy, but I would really like this to come down and break this low here for that, like A, B, C. Break this low here. Very, I mean, last week we were looking for like this A, B, C height, just as a C wave, and then more than likely it'll fall over again. So again, unless you're already in this in the buy, you're pretty much sitting on the sideline. Um, you know, because we're just about at that target, like the 100 pip target with this A, B, C. Now this may turn motive and you get lucky. It goes further, but again, if you're not in it, you're pretty much sitting on the sideline. There's nothing you can do now on it. Gold right up the top of the market. We do have a bull hidden in here. I'm not really looking for it to go and break the top, like I've mentioned before. I'm more inclined to think that it'll just give us a larger like a deeper correction in here, not breaking that top. And that's pretty much what it's done so far. I mean, there's a couple of different scenarios here at this stage, but the main thing is like we got 1, 2, 3 up with bearish divergence after a nice impulse down. So if you get any bearish setup in here, I'd be looking for the 3 now. Ideally, it comes down and breaks this low here for you first, and then gives you a correction, and then you can sell it. Because at this stage, there is a possible bull hidden there. So if this scenario doesn't play out for you, you could look for a buy. If this comes down here and you get a nice impulse up and it gives you a buy setup, well, then you could look for a buy to go and break the top. But yeah. Silver played out. We got the 5 up in here. It didn't get to our second target, but that's fine. I was looking at this as a flat in here, and it's pretty much gone. Well, it looks like it's going to go. Looking at this like A, B, and get a C down here, very similar to what we're looking for on gold. Yeah. So next week, you definitely could look for a sell. And get my computer to work. Oh, come on. So we got a nice impulse down, you know. So if we get a nice correction, and you get a sell set up, you can look for a sell. Bitcoin, this is right up the top of the market. We're looking at this 5 up in here on the daily. This like 1, 2, 3. We're getting that extended wave in the wave 3, and then I'll be waiting for wave 4. The safest way is to wait for this wave 4 and then trade that wave 5 up. Unless, of course, you traded this in here, this 5th wave, like we've been looking at for a long time now. It's very slow, but we got that extended wave in the wave 3, so we're getting 5 up in here. I mean, this was very difficult to trade. Trying to trade this 5th wave up would have been really difficult. So I'll just let this wave 5 go if you're not already in it. And then wait for, wherever this ends here, wait for that wave 4 and then get into the wave 5, then look to trade that wave 5 up. That's the safest way. I wouldn't try to look for buys up here. Wait for the wave 4 and then look to trade that wave 5 up. S&P 500 right up the top of the market. I mean, we got all the bearish divergence and that, like I've gone through before. There's no signs of it. There really isn't any sell setups yet. We have a lot of bearish divergence on the H4. I wouldn't be surprised if we get like an A, this is a B, and we get a C down in here, some sort of a flat. We need some sort of a flat before we can look to buy again. There's other than that, and there really isn't a sell setup on it. There's no sell setups on it, so it's more bullish still. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of a flat in here, but we get some sort of an A, B, C in here, and then you get an A, B, C before, more upside. But yeah. AU 200 looking for a sell. It hadn't been giving us any sell setups though, but it looks like it's well, even at this stage, it's very risky to buy to sell. I mean, there's a possible bull hidden here, so you have to be very careful. This can just shoot up and break the top again. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's really not much on this either. You'd want, if you're looking for the sells, you'd want some sort of a nice correction to sell. If you're looking for that bull hidden, well, you want a nice impulse up and something to buy. Until you get either or one of those, you're pretty much staying out of it. The FTSE, this looking very bullish to go and break the top, but I've been saying that for a while. You know, we had these three down in here, had a nice impulse up, and then we had three down. So I was looking for this to go and break the top. It's taking a very long time, but you know, maybe setting up for something now. Starting to get a correction, so we got a nice impulse up. You know, getting some sort of correction. Wait for a nice correction in here, and then if you get a buy set up, you could look for at least three up, and more than likely it'll break the top, right, of this daily. You know, you're looking for it to go and break the top of this daily. Last of all, the DAX, this has really taken off after this correction in here. Yeah, if you're not in it, you're not in it. Simple as that. You know, I wouldn't go buying up here. If anything, you know, you'd be waiting for a correction, and I'd be waiting for some sort of a bulk hidden or something, and then you could look to look for a buy. But other than that, you know, you're looking for a sell, and there simply isn't any sell setups on it. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you out there next week.